Joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline, perfect night. Maybe stop at a Western Za before the game, little dine-in action, or get some takeout before or after. Always perfect for Western Pizza. Sponsor of the Regina Pats. It's the Regina Pats in action tonight. Joining us, voice of the Regina Pats, Dante De Caria. Dante, are we starting to talk about the possibility of a tiebreak?
Well, Barney, I guess I should just go through some of the scenarios just to, yeah, sure. I mean, there's talk.
Yeah.
That would be next week, early next week, potentially on Tuesday. Now, okay, so let me try to run through the scenarios with you. Now, the Regina Pats need just a single point in this home-and-home set with the Brandon Wheat Kings tonight at home is a big one in order to clinch a playoff spot. That doesn't matter what Moose Jaw does. If they get 1 point, or even better yet, a win, then they clinch a playoff spot. You have the Red Deer Rebels who are in action tonight who could clinch a playoff berth with a single win here tonight. They are 1 point back of the Pats and are 3 points ahead of the Moose Jaw Warriors. Now, Moose Jaw is in action tonight and tomorrow against Swift Current. They have a home-and-home with the Swift Current Broncos. The Red Deer Rebels have a home-and-home with the Medicine Hat Tigers. So the only way that there would be a tiebreaker game would be, number one, if Moose Jaw wins their next two games, which would be 4 points, they tie Regina in the standings, and Regina does not win or get any points at all. The only way that there could be a tiebreaker game with the Red Deer Rebels is if Red Deer gathers just a single point, so an overtime or shootout loss, Regina does not get any points, and those two teams are tied, and then it would be a tiebreaker game with the Red Deer Rebels. One thing I should say is that in both scenarios, a tiebreaker game would be in Red Deer or in Moose Jaw. Regina cannot host the tiebreaker game because it would have Red Deer or the Moose Jaw Warriors with more wins than the Regina Pats, and the first tie-breaking scenario is wins. So Regina would have to play a tiebreaker game on the road. It hasn't happened since 2018-19, so it's been quite a long time. Again, these things don't happen very often, Barney, but it is a possibility. Regina just needs to win. That's it.
Holy cow. That's the reason I didn't like calculus and all those classes like that in school. That is a lot to follow. But it just for people, the simplest thing, Dante, is a Pats win.
Simplest thing is a Pats win or an overtime loss, like literally just one single point. If Moose Jaw wins their next two games and Regina gets a single point, they still finish a point ahead of Moose Jaw. Now, that doesn't dictate whether they finish 7th or 8th, but they just need a single point just to make the playoffs, like just to even finish 8th. And that could be a matchup with the Prince Albert Raiders. If the Prince Albert Raiders win tonight, they clinch first in the entire Eastern Conference, which would get them home ice advantage through the majority of the playoffs through the conference finals. So they're in action tonight against Saskatoon. That's a big game for them. The Brandon Wheat Kings have something to play for as well, right? A lot of people are probably saying, well, these games don't really matter for Brandon. They'll just kind of fold the tent. Well, I don't really think so because Brandon is only 3 points ahead of Saskatoon, and they want to finish in 5th, which would give them an opportunity to play the Calgary Hitmen in round number 1 versus the Edmonton Oil Kings in round number 1. If Saskatoon wins both of their games against the Prince Albert Raiders, which is unlikely, given that Prince Albert's one of the top teams and they're playing for something as well, then those two teams would kind of slide front and back of each other. So, I mean, both teams tonight at the Brand Center are playing for something. For anybody that is coming to the rink tonight and says, well, you know, Brandon's just going to kind of lay back and just let things slide, I don't think that's the case at all, Barney.
Oh, yeah, like it's great in that respect for a fan and a fan of the league. There's so many teams playing for things right now. Okay, here's a tough one, or here's one for you, Dante. And now I want you to answer it honestly. Who do the Pats match up better against? Who do the Pats want to play in the first round?
Well, if you want my personal opinion would be the Prince Albert Raiders because at least they've won a game against them in the season series, and some of the games have been somewhat close. Going back to last Saturday, just a 2-1 shootout loss to Prince Albert at the Brand Center, which was a game that Taylor Shabashnik made 64 saves on 65 shots, which from what I understand might be a Pats single-season or single-game record by a goaltender. In fact, if he would have got the shutout, it would have been a Regina Pats record for most saves in a shutout, and from what I understand, it could have been the league record as well. So from that standpoint, I'll say Prince Albert. Medicine Hat, just those two teams play two different style of games. You have in Medicine Hat, the Ruck Twins, who are 1-2 in WHL scoring, and then you have Pickford, who's close to setting the WHL record for goals in a season by a defenseman. I think he has 47. The all-time record is 49, which is insane. We'll never see this for a while. At least I don't anticipate. You have Wu, who has over 28 goals this year as a defenseman. He leads all WHL defenders in scoring with over 80 points this year. So those are, in my opinion, 4 players that are potentially able to get league awards this season. Then you look at the Prince Albert Raiders, and they don't have a single player within the top 15 in WHL scoring this year. The player that leads their team in goals and in scoring is a defenseman by the name of Daxon Rudolph, who needs one more goal to surpass Josh Morrissey for the Raiders' single-season franchise goal record by a defenseman.
Jeez.
So 2 different teams. You have a very balanced Prince Albert Raiders attack that really can play all 4 lines in all situations, that just rolls everybody. Now, that might change in the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see. I think the playoffs go deeper and you face off maybe against the Medicine Hat in round number 1. I'm sure they'll shorten out the lineup and stuff like that. But Medicine Hat, to me, is a team you don't want to run into in the playoffs. And it's kind of pick your poison. You don't want to play both teams. They're both very good. But I'd rather play Prince Albert just because you don't have to deal with the Rucks and Pickford and Wu and Basha, who played this year in the American Hockey League before being reassigned to the Medicine Hat Tigers. He's a second-round pick of the Calgary Flames. I mean, they have the 2 Finnish defensemen who are 2 NHL picks on their back end. Like, really, that's a team that's very difficult to beat in the Medicine Hat Tigers. And, hey, Prince Albert's good as well. They have Braden Coots, who is probably going to turn it up a notch. He played NHL games this year, so what am I even saying, right?
Oh, I know, man. I'm getting excited. Like, I wasn't planning because I got things to get to the Brandt Center tonight, but now just with everything on the line and like I might have to go to the game. One thing I wanted to ask you, what do you know about Brandon? Is Brandon healthy? I know they got something to play for. No. I talked about it yesterday.
No, they're not healthy.
Okay.
They've got stuff to play for. They're not healthy. From what I understand, they did get their backup goaltender, Jaden Krause, back. He'll be in the lineup tonight. I don't know if he's going to start. Regina might start, the monster, the 6'7" goaltender that they have. From what I understand, they're pretty banged up. I mean, Joby Baumgartner's missed a lot of time. Grayson Brzezinski's been in and out of the lineup. I mean, 2 of their top 6 defensemen have really missed almost the whole entire season, Ronald and Arpin. Very young back end with not a ton of experience, led by Georgios Pantelis, who's a former first-round pick in his own right. Their forwards are very talented, led by Luke Misselbacher and obviously Jackson Jacobson and Jordan Gavin. Carter Klippenstein's been in and out of the lineup with injuries. I mean, Chase Serkan, who a lot of fans here in Regina know has been hurt. I believe he could be in the lineup tonight. They're not entirely healthy.
But
they still have lots to play for.
Yeah.
You know?
What about the Pats? What about Liam Pugh and Maddox Schultz quickly?
Yeah, Maddox Schultz will play. This will be the last regular season game of the season. Liam Pugh will play tonight. He has one more game left. He'll play tomorrow in Brandon. Other than that, it still is a little bit of a banged-up lineup. The Pats are kind of down to 5 defensemen for tonight's game, so I think they'll be playing with 13 forwards and 5D.
Dante, good stuff. Big one tonight. Hey, this is what you love, right? You're calling games that matter. It's the best part of the gig. Yeah. Well, you got a few years here where it's going to get exciting, my friend. So buckle up. All right. Maybe see you at the rink tonight, Dante.
All right. Sounds good. See you later. Thanks for doing this.